We are so excited to be here on the banks of the historic Union River in Ellsworth. Sharon, this is the gateway to and from Acadia.
And Brett, a lot of people travel through Ellsworth every day.
And you know what? They stop here as well. There's lots to see and do.
Well, we're going to give you reasons why you should stop too and discover Ellsworth.
If you've traveled from Bangor to Ellsworth, you have definitely passed this building. It's fascinating to look at on the outside. The interesting thing is, it is even more impressive on the inside. We're gonna go visit and discover 1A Relics. So now we are inside at 1A Relics, and we're meeting with Shelley Bradsell.
Hi.
Okay? And Tom is your husband.
He is.
But he's not here with us
He's
today.
not.
No, but
Lucky
we're gonna talk about Tom. But anyway, the place is amazing inside. It's fascinating to look at. There are angles, there are quirks, there are just craziness here. But the place is so cool. Shelley, what's this place all about?
You will find just 5 levels, 80 vendors, and a lot of stuff.
How many square feet is this place now? Come on.
We are at approximately 11,600 square feet.
Wow, that's absolutely amazing. And it's so split up. We go from room to room, vendor stall to vendor stall, and there's different stuff everywhere you look.
Everywhere you look. You never know, when you walk around one corner, you never know what you're going to see. You have die-cast cars over there, but then you look around the corner and you have a tree in the middle of the floor. And then you go around another corner and you find a big slab of granite on the floor.
Shelley, do you get a lot of people who just come in to look around?
They do, and we welcome that. You know, they can come in to see the building. People have been driving by here forever, saying, you know, I was a little kid and we used to drive by here. For many years they couldn't come in, and now they can. And they're more than welcome to just come in and look around because the building itself is amazing, along with the things in it. So they are welcome. Come on and see us. We'll be here.
There's literally something for everyone, and if someone's coming to Ellsworth to discover Ellsworth, they really need to stop here first.
They do. They do, absolutely.
Excellent. 1A Relics, right between Bangor and Ellsworth, on the Ellsworth side. It's an amazing place.
It's cool. It's really cool.
One of the things people love about our Maine life is our food. Now I'm talking lobster and seafood, and it's all about having the authentic Maine experience. You can find that experience right here at the Union River Lobster Pot. We're gonna talk to the owner and operator, Brian Langley. Brian, tell us why us Mainers and all our visitors to Maine wanna be here at Union River Lobster Pot.
Well, we fit a real nice niche here in Ellsworth, and that is, where do you bring people from away to give them the Maine experience? So we're right on the water, which is important. It's tidal here on the Union River. We serve fresh seafood. Our lobster comes from just up the bay. Oysters, mussels, clams are all locally sourced. Homemade blueberry pie with a grandmother recipe to it. Served by local kids who grew up here, working their way through college. So it's really the Maine experience when you come here, and you get a real appreciation for it.
You mentioned fresh. How fresh is it?
Well, most of the time you can measure it in hours rather than days. So Evan Young, who does the mussels for me at Blue Hill Bay Mussels, goes every Tuesday and Friday. And Tuesday afternoon, I'm there when the truck comes in and he's just coming off of the island. And we'll get our mussels for the next 72 hours, and then he's back out doing it again. So same with clams. The guy who digs clams for me, it's every other day he's in here, and we get just enough to last 72 hours. So you can measure it in hours rather than days.
Now I know we have seafood here, but what are your other specials?
Well, we have a mix of things to try to have a little bit of something for everybody. We stay in our lane. We don't do a lot of wildly crazy things, but we have wonderful steaks, we have chicken, we have some pasta, but our claim to fame really is seafood.
Now what is this I hear about your chowder?
Well, we're pretty well known for our clam chowder. Every fall, Ellsworth Chamber of Commerce has Autumn Gold, and part of their big weekend is a chowder competition. And so we've won it quite a number of times for our clam chowder. And what the best compliment I ever got was from an older fellow from down east who said, this is what clam chowder should taste like. It's not too fancy, it only has a few ingredients, but it's authentic. So, and people recognize that, and we sell a ton of it.
Now when you talk about fancy, I know you have fancy things to drink, but you also have local beer.
About 6 or 7 years ago, we went all Maine brews on tap. And then we upped our game a little bit over the winter, and we worked with Airline Brewing, which is right up the street, and I met with their brewmaster several times all winter to brew a beer especially for us, private label, called Dockside Ale. made just to go with lobster and seafood. So it's perfectly complements what we do.
And they could drink it right out here, right?
They can drink it right out here, and it's a very light, refreshing, low alcohol content, so you can have more than one and still be able to make your way home. But it complements our seafood, and people have really taken to it.
Thank you so much, Brian. Union River Lobster Pot, the place to go in Ellsworth.
So you're outdoors in Maine in the summertime, in the fall. You're hiking. Your feet get hot, they get sweaty, they get tired. Well, the solution we've discovered right here in Ellsworth is alpaca socks. Now we are here at Maine Alpaca Experience. We're going to meet with Corey Pratt. Corey, come on in.
Hi, nice to
Hi,
see you.
Nice to see you too. So alpaca socks, I never would have thought of it. Tell me about that.
Alpaca socks are wonderful. They are one of the only natural fiber socks, and this particular pair is alpaca fiber from our very own alpacas, but it is a fiber that will wick away moisture. It also keeps you extremely warm. It's anywhere from 4 to 7 times warmer than wool, but half the weight. And because of the makeup of the fiber, it has little scales on it, as does wool, but the scales on alpaca fiber are like all smooth in one direction, which also causes it to hold air pockets, much like your thermos. When you have hot coffee, it keeps it hot, and cold ice water, it stays. Same premise with the alpaca fiber. We have everything. The scarf I'm wearing, if you feel that, much like silk,
Wow,
but
that's a
that's
tremendous
baby
feeling.
alpaca, and it's extremely fine and thin, so I can wear this as hot as it is today. It's very comfortable to wear. And we have socks, as I mentioned, the low-cut socks for biking, tennis, whatever you'd like. And we're going to end up being just as comfortable in the winter as we are the summer.
Awesome, awesome. Maine Alpaca Experience, right in downtown Ellsworth.
Yes, MaineAlpacaExperience.com.
Fantastic.
If you've been trying to maintain a healthy lifestyle, you know the challenges. We've got your solution. It's John Edwards Market right here on Main Street in Ellsworth. We're here with John Powell now. Now, John, did you buy this store, or was it here already?
It actually was here. I bought it from Dick Hunt back in 1980, the end of 1980. This store has been in operation actually since 1967. It started in Brunswick, Maine. So I've been on Main Street now for, I guess, 39 years.
And with this store, John Edwards Market, you have some beautiful artwork. What is up with that? You usually don't see that in a store like this.
Well, personally, I love art. So my wife and I have always collected art along the way, and I think it's really nice to have it on the wall. So we have some really well-known artists in the community that we've gotten to know along the way, and so I hope people enjoy it when they come in.
Now downstairs is a different story though. What is up with that?
Well, people don't even realize we have a whole gallery downstairs. So there we have sculptures down there as well as paintings. So if you'd like to see what it looks like, we'd certainly like to show you.
And it's the wine cellar gallery, and you have wine tastings there as well, right?
We do. We have about 3 or 4 tastings a year for people, so they're pretty well represented, and the varying wines from different areas, and we'd certainly enjoy it.
We're talking with Josh. Now Josh, tell us why John Edwards Market is an Ellsworth institution.
Well, it's been family owned for many years now. It's a store that's focused really is on trying to help give people good quality organic foods and natural lifestyle supplements to be able to support them.
Now when you talk organic foods, are they all from right here in Ellsworth or all from Maine?
No, but there are many. We try to work with a number of local farmers, many producers of various products from dairy, eggs, meats, beans, vegetables, there's many.
And the prices are really comparable everywhere, right?
We try our best. We try to make sure the farmers are getting enough to earn a living, but also to be able to provide a good product to the customer as well.
Now, a lot of people these days are health conscious. So what about the health conscious people? What about that?
We try to allow for the specialty needs of different people's diets or those who have health restrictions for food, as well as we have supplements, lines for nutrition to give them a hand as well.
Some of the highlights of your store are your coffee and your vitamins.
Yeah, we have a very nice selection of vitamins in the store, and we have some people that can help you find what you're looking for, trying to match people with what will help them the most, as well as the bulk supplies and coffee, and it allows us to sell at a more competitive price to the consumer.
Having a healthy lifestyle is easier when you make John Edwards Market your destination, and it's easy to find right on Main Street in the heart of Ellsworth.
So, in previous shows, we've had a chance to meet the folks at the Rock and Art Shop. In Ellsworth, we're discovering that there's a whole nother rock in our shop. This is Annette.
So this is a smaller shop in Ellsworth. It's got more of a boutique feel. Everything is just perfectly placed because we have to, because it's a little bit smaller. It's a completely different experience than Bangor, but also just as enjoyable.
What are some of the things that are specific to Ellsworth?
We have a blacklight mineral room, which is pretty amazing. All of these beautiful fluorescent minerals. We have tree frogs that are native to Maine on display for people to see, and a giant flying bat skeleton, just to name a few.
Amazing, amazing. So if you're looking for that special gift for that special someone and you need it to be unique, the Rock and Art Shop in Ellsworth. In addition to dining, entertainment, shopping, Ellsworth is a cultural destination as well. Well, in our travels, we discovered Woodlawn, the site of America's longest running summer antique show.
The Ellsworth Antique Show is so unique in that it features dealers from around the country and even from across the pond in England. This is the 14th year of the Ellsworth Antique Show at Woodlawn. It is the longest running summer antique show in the nation. It originated here in Ellsworth at Ellsworth City Hall in 1938 and has been running ever since. It had a brief hiatus when it went to Blue Hill, Maine for about 9 years, and then 14 years ago came back to Ellsworth and found a new home in Ellsworth on the grounds of Woodlawn, this 180-acre park and historic house that's open to the public. This year's show runs from August 14th through the 17th. The 14th is our opening night party, sort of the big summer gala for down East Maine. And then the show continues Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Thursday the 15th through the 17th, 10 to 6 on Thursday and Friday, and 10 to 4 on Saturday.
There are lots of great things that happen in Ellsworth during the late summer and into the early fall, but all that stuff doesn't happen by itself. So we are joined today with Gretchen Wilson. She is the Executive Director of the Ellsworth Chamber of Commerce. Thanks for joining us, Gretchen.
Thank you. We do have a lot going on in Ellsworth. Every week down on the waterfront we have a evening concert with the Ellsworth Concert Band on Wednesday nights. We have the Waterfront Concert Series on Friday nights. In another park in Ellsworth, Knowlton Park, we have movies at dusk for the entire family. All of these events are for free, so it's, it kind of makes for a really nice summer, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday night.
For sure, it's a nightlife in general. Yeah, that's fantastic. So as you wrap up the summer, you go to Autumn Gold. Yeah.
Autumn Gold Days are the Chamber's signature event. We do an annual car show, Chowder Fest tasting down here on the waterfront, free boat rides, and then all over the city there are sales, there are raffles, there's road races, golf tournaments, you name it. Family events at both of the malls. There is so much to do for everybody during that weekend, last weekend in September.
That's awesome, that's awesome. And boat rides right from here.
Yes, free boat rides.
Free boat rides, no less.
Free boat rides on the Union River.
There's always something cool happening in Ellsworth, and thanks to the Chamber for showing us or talking about some of the things that we can do. So come down to Ellsworth, it's worth the trip. When we set out to do the Ellsworth show, we wanted to find a business that was a pillar in the community, somebody who'd been here for generations and someone who represented what Ellsworth was all about. We discovered Merrill Furniture on High Street in Ellsworth. So Bob, this is an amazing place that has a storied history. Can you tell me a little bit about Merrill Furniture and Ellsworth?
Well, Merrill family has been in Ellsworth for over 90 years. My great-grandfather and grandfather came here and started a blueberry business. And then they had to have a shop for the equipment and everything like that, so they had a garage on Franklin Street, which is a side street just off Main Street in downtown Ellsworth. So my grandfather was good friends with a gentleman from Bar Harbor who had the freight concession in the railroad yards in Bangor. So he would, on his way up to Bangor, he would fill up with gas at my grandfather's gas station on Franklin Street in Ellsworth, and on the way back he'd come and fill up on the way back to Bar Harbor. And he'd bring along with him, sometimes he'd have a barrel full of old tin cans with no labels, and my grandfather would put it in the corner, and sell it for 5 cents a can. No one knew what they were going to get. It was a lot of fun and everything. So one day this gentleman came through and he had some furniture. So my grandfather bought some of that, and the rest they see is history. So that evolved into Merrill Furniture up here on High Street, which we came up off of Franklin Street in 1963. Yeah, and this store here was about 1/5 the size. We've had 5 additions since then. And it's quite a story for the family because my grandfather was raising 4 kids during the Great Depression.
Oh my God.
And I'd always ask him, how the heck did you do that? You know. And he said it wasn't easy. He said, you know, sometimes I'd write a check for food, knowing there was nothing there to cover it, but just knowing somehow that I would, you know, sell something the next day. He used to sell Atwater Kent radios also.
Wow.
And he would always find a way to cover that check through the Great Depression. So anytime anybody thinks they get a little rough, or I think I get a little rough, I think back on that and say, I don't have it so tough. Tried to raise 4 kids in the Great Depression.
That's absolutely amazing. And now, so this is now 3 generations, 4 generations, 3?
This is actually 4th generation.
4th generation.
Business.
Started in the blueberry business and now, and it's still in the blueberry business.
Still
down
in the
street.
blueberry
Yeah.
is evolved in quite a large business itself. So we've got 2 or 3 different family businesses and whatever. And the furniture, like Ellsworth, has grown a lot. And thanks to Ellsworth, the growth of Ellsworth and everything, Merrill Furniture has grown.
That's fantastic. Bob, it's an amazing story, and you know, this is an amazing store. So let's take a second, actually let's take a few minutes, take a look around. But what really impresses me is the size of this place. It is enormous.
That's the first thing everybody says when they come in. They say, oh my Lord, I can't believe how big this store is. And total square footage is just over 55,000 square feet.
Wow.
We have a huge trading area. We've got a 60-mile radius that customers come from, all the way from here to Calais, from here to Rockland, from here to Presque Isle, Fort Kent, and everywhere's in between.
That must make you is it the biggest furniture store down east and probably one of the largest in eastern and central Maine, right?
We are the largest store in down east Maine, Hancock, Washington County, one of the largest in eastern Maine, and actually one of the largest in the state of Maine right now.
Wow. Amazing.
So.
Amazing. It's right here in Ellsworth. So brands that you carry, Bob, I'm noticing some beautiful stuff, and it's at all price points, it's at all budgets. You know, I see stuff at sofas at $599 and you know, all the way up to $3,000. There's something for everybody.
There is. We've got sofas actually from $399 right over to $4,000. So depending on your budget, we can fit it. We've got a lot of brand names that are familiar, like Lazy Boy. We've got some other names that aren't quite as familiar, like Palliser, which is a Canadian company. Got a lot of Amish furniture for dining room and bedroom. We got Four Seasons slipcover furniture, which we sell a lot of. So we've got a lot to choose from.
Wow. Wow. And bedding is a specialty as well.
Bedding is a specialty. We've got over 30 models on the floor for people to choose from. We sell a tremendous amount of bedding. We sell probably percentage-wise more bedding than any other furniture store in the state of Maine. We've got all the major lines, Certus, Simmons, King Coil, Restonic, and Heirloom. We can hit any price point. Summer bedding, camp, cottage. We got the price points and the best quality at the best price for everybody.
And the thing I like the most is you can try them before you buy them here.
We got over 30 models on the floor, so you can try them out before you buy them to see what feels best to you.
Now I also understand that there is a discount area. You've got a warehouse back there with some substantial savings on everything.
We do. We have a warehouse sale up there, sale area up there that's over 70% off on bedding, mattresses, box springs, and other furniture as well. So that we have people that come in and just shop that room because it's such great buys.
And that inventory changes constantly.
Changes almost daily.
Wow.
Up there.
And Bob, one of the most amazing things that I think you've told me is that it's free delivery anywhere in the state of Maine. Is that true?
Anywhere in the state of Maine, we deliver from Kittery to Fort Kent, and everywhere's in between. It is free delivery.
Free delivery, wow. Merrill Furniture, High Street, Ellsworth.
When you're traveling on High Street in Ellsworth, across from Pat's Pizza, you'll see the restaurant barn. But it's not a restaurant, although it does have a lot of ties to the local eateries in the community. I'm here with Jeremiah. Jeremiah, can you tell me, what is the restaurant barn?
We provide everything cooking to food service companies, schools, homeowners, hobbyists, from Lubec to Rockland in this great city of Maine.
And you know, you're really well known for your customer service.
Yeah, we provide service here in the store with walking around with people, helping them find just what they need to get the project done, or commercial kitchen design, and we also can make connections and work on equipment.
What kind of things do you have for the average cook like me to help me improve?
Oh, amazing pots, pans, knives, cutting boards, the full array of tools that we use in a commercial kitchen can be well applied in the home.
As a local business, you're very focused on the community, aren't you?
Absolutely. Yeah, the people and the local businesses are what allows us to be. And we take a lot of pride in keeping them going and making their businesses or events successful.
Whether you're in the restaurant business or you just love cooking, you'll find a great selection of quality products right here at the Restaurant Barn, High Street in Ellsworth. You may have seen and heard the name Napa Auto Parts, but we've discovered something that you may not have known, that all Napa stores are not the same. I'm here with Michael Bowles. Now Michael, is there really a difference between Napa stores?
Well, yeah, because most of the Napa stores are independently owned, so Napa doesn't really give us a layout of how we're supposed to run our stores. They have ideas or something like that, but we choose how we run them ourselves, so they are very different.
Not just independently owned, but you're family owned.
Yeah, my father and his father started the business back in '81, and now it's my two brothers and I and my sister run the business now.
And not just your family, but you're thinking of the whole community as your family.
Well, that's, I mean, we're from Ellsworth. My parents grew up in Ellsworth. That's kind of how we run our business, is we know all the customers, we'll see them out in the street, so we treat them as family, friends. Our customers, our employees especially, we treat them as family and take care of them. So.
And most of your customers are locally owned shops in the area. They do their fixing right at home, right?
A lot of our business goes to the garages, the wholesale, other business owners in the community. So we try to form more of a partnership with them to help them run their businesses better. So then they can get more cars through their lifts and hopefully buy more parts from us.
Now, community sounds really important to you.
Well, it is. I mean, we believe our parents instilled in us a belief that you have to take care of the community that takes care of you, and it's a give and take type thing. So my mother she was a cheerleading coach growing up at the high school. My father was always very involved in my youth sports and my brother's youth sports and stuff like that. So we just kind of taken from them and continued.
Now you also volunteer in the community.
I do, yes. I've coached baseball and some other youth sports here in Ellsworth really since I was in high school. For the last 25 years I've coached a team. My family's been involved as well. My father's been very involved with the football program now, and my sister and mother are on the football board. My brother's part of the Chamber of Commerce, so we're active. It's not just me, all of us are active in the community.
You can really hit a home run at Napa and Ellsworth, right?
Yes. For us, the community is our family.
Now when you hear the name Napa, you'll still think quality and expertise, but you'll also think family and community. That's the difference here at Napa in Ellsworth.
Living in Maine, we all deal with Maine roads. And I know from personal experience, the best car to drive is an all-wheel drive car because you don't slip and slide. There's traction on the road. Well, I also know that a Subaru is a great choice for that. But we're here in Ellsworth and we discovered Stanley Subaru. Stanley Subaru, they say they're the smart choice, but let's go find out why and meet the team. Mark, how are you?
Welcome to Stanley Subaru, Brett.
Thank you, thank you. Now I understand Stanley Subaru is celebrating their 20th anniversary.
We're so excited to be celebrating our 20-year anniversary. It has flown by. It's hard to believe it's been 20 years, but looking back at the transformation and what the last 20 years has meant, it's truly humbling.
Well, one of the things that about you guys that is so intriguing, not only are you the smart choice, but you don't call your customers, you call them guests.
We like to welcome them. Just as you would a guest in your home, we want them to feel comfortable. We want to provide good, honest value with every transaction. We don't look at it as a one-time transactional relationship. It's more like having a guest in your house and that you've known for years and that you're comfortable with, and you're providing value over and over again. So whether it's through the purchase of the car and a lot of our loyalty programs like Tires for Life and Lifetime Powertrain Protection on our pre-owned, to no appointment necessary when you come in for service, and our preferred guest package gives all of our guests a discount on parts and on service. So every time they're here, we're doing our best to provide real value for their dollar and keep them safe and maintain their vehicle while they travel our wonderful roads of Maine. Subaru makes our jobs really easy. They do. Yeah. They build a reliable vehicle that's got fantastic all-wheel drive system, the best miles per gallon ratings in the industry with good crash tests, and Mainers appreciate value. We recognize when something's real value, and so our loyalty programs like Tires for Life on top of what Subaru offers in an unbelievable winter vehicle, it's the perfect combination.
That's awesome.
We're reflecting a lot right now, celebrating our 20-year anniversary, and we recognize that there's really three groups that got us to where we are today, and it is our employees and our guests and our community. And we're working hard to say thank you to all three of those. So we've got some amazing promotions for our guests running through the whole summer. This year we had a party to celebrate our employees and all kinds of fun. I won't share some of those stories, but
very impressive.
We had a good time, and we're having a big party for the community and supporting a lot of our local nonprofits that we've had a long-standing relationship with. And we've got some fun planned in September to highlight them and to thank them for all the good work they do in the community. Several of them have traveled that same 20-year journey we have. Yeah. We've changed a lot and they've grown a lot, and our community has benefited from all of that.
That's awesome. And I understand one of the ones we're going to be meeting shortly is the Grand.
The Grand is an amazing place. It's a landmark to downtown Ellsworth, and they do so much good for the community. Nick has been transformational for them and developing them and growing them and making their relevance to our community bigger than it always was. So we're really excited to have partnered with them over the last many years. They named the stage after us, which was very flattering.
Stage. Yeah, that's
but,
cool.
But we're very excited about the work that they're doing.
Awesome, awesome. Well, let's go meet Nick and Mark. Thank you so much. You're going to come with us, right?
I'd love to.
Awesome. Let's go do that. Let's go meet Nick at the Grand. Mark, who else are you guys supporting as part of your 20th anniversary initiative?
We're partnering with the SPCA, the Woodlawn Museum, Gardens and Parks, the Community Closet, the Beth C. Wright Center for Cancer, and this place, the Grand, which wait till you see what they've got going on. It's amazing.
It's amazing. It's all about community with you guys.
We love them.
Let's go see.
Morning, Brett. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Morning, Mark. Good to see you.
Great to see you.
Thank you for everything that you do and Stanley Subaru does for the Grand.
It's our pleasure.
Yeah.
Mark, thanks for joining us. All right. Thank you. Nick?
Yes.
You are the executive director of the Grand.
I am.
Excellent, excellent. Now, the Grand is a landmark on Main Street in Ellsworth, and if you're looking to discover Ellsworth, you can't miss this place.
You can't miss it anyway. If you go through Ellsworth, you can't miss the Grand. It's prominent on Main Street. It's this big, beautiful, iconic Art Deco theater, and it just ends up everywhere. And by the way, you really can't avoid us because our mission is social interaction, to bring people together, to be engaged. That's why community is so important.
Yeah,
and I'm well known for in the summer, if you hesitate outside the door, I will come out. And I will come out and talk to you about the Grand. And I do it all the time. And it's one of the most enjoyable things I do is engaging people who don't know anything about the Grand.
Now, for people that don't know anything about the Grand, what is it that you guys do here? What is it all about?
A lot. So it was built in 1938. We finish our 80th anniversary this week. 80 years that the Grand has been a part of Ellsworth. The organization itself has been around since 1975, and we do film, including high digital 4K, beautiful film. We do live broadcasts, we do music, and now we're getting really big in live theater and education.
And there's a lot going on this summer, particularly in August and September.
Yeah, August is our next live production, Steel Magnolias, which is a very favorite play of a lot of people, and it continues our season. We also have a Fringe Festival in September. We wanted to find more ways to engage other theater companies, again, bringing all that community together. So it's an open Fringe Festival for other theater companies to do works they might not usually do, and we bring them all here at the Grand.
How do other people get involved with the Grand?
A lot of ways. Volunteering is probably the most rewarding for us as an organization, again, as social interaction mission. And volunteering brings more people to push where the Grand's gonna go. Even our live theater, we call it community driven, which means we'll have people in all different areas of the production, from onstage to backstage. And I feel like we've done a great job including people that may never do theater unless they had that opportunity. And in other ways, it's just flat out funding. It's an expensive organization, an expensive building to run, so it's another great way to get involved.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, when you're discovering Ellsworth, which is what this show is all about, you absolutely don't want to miss the Grand. Well, we've had a fantastic time discovering Ellsworth. There is just so much to see and do here.
And you never know where we'll pop up next.
Sharon, this has been fun. Let's get on to our next discovery.
Sounds good, let's go.